So sometimes out there, I got people trying to play me. I got girls, doing me dirty, all this type of stuff. And for the most part, I try to keep chill and just ignore it and let it be and let it go and just, chop it up and just get over it. But other times it just got me feeling like,
you're the reason that I've trusted you. You're the reason that I listen to Drake.
I'm way too good to you. You take my love for granted.
That being said, I'm gonna tell y'all a little story of one of those times that I got played. But at the same time, I kind of let myself get played this dirty, so it's kind of on me. Before I get into it, I'm just gonna let y'all know I am not about to name drop. She knows who she is. I know who she is. That's all we need. Y'all don't need to know who she is. So let's get to it. About 3 years ago, 2013, I met this girl, I added her on Twitter. That's how you do. You're single, you find a hot girl on Twitter, you follow her. And then you live happily ever after. So we met, we kind of, we were attracted to her. I thought she was fine. She, I guess, liked me, I don't know. And for the most part, we were really just friends. We just messed around and hung out. And I don't mean mess around as in sexual stuff. I mean mess around as we went to parks and watched scary movies and, talked about weird things like that, not messed around sexually because that wasn't a thing. So we kind of had a little bit of history, we would make out every here and there and, be a little flirtatious and whatnot, but for the most part, we were just friends. Later down the road, it got to this point where we would start talking, stop talking, start talking, stop talking, start talking, stop talking. And it became this pattern. She lived out here in New Mexico, so obviously we saw each other face to face and whatnot, and then later on, she moved to Ohio. We used to talk when she was in Ohio, every once in a while, say things. There was one point where I was this close to buying a ticket to go fly out and see her, and then guess what? She stopped talking to me. So I almost wasted $400 on nothing just because she was like, oh hey. I used to try and get her, sometimes we'd be talking, she'd be really intense, with her flirting and whatnot, and it wasn't just oh hey, I like you, oh hey, you're attractive, this and that. It was more than that. And so every once in a while I'd be well, why not just date me if you're so into me, you know what I'm saying? She'd always be I don't do long distance, that's not what I do, it's not da-da-da, I don't like it, I need the person here, now, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Which, you know what, I understand, I get it, whatever. But I think if you're really into somebody, then none of that matters, distance, none of that matters. If you're really into somebody, you're gonna be with them, end of story. Or at least you're gonna try to be with them, because it kind of has to be mutual. So I spent some time out in Georgia this past summer, 2016, and I have a friend out in Cleveland. The whole time we were talking about planning this thing out, about how I was gonna go visit, and we were gonna hang out, and I was gonna drive there, and it was gonna be dope, and it's just gonna be a good time. A little while after this, before I was getting all my stuff together to leave and all this good stuff, this girl hit me up again. So she started talking to me again. I was trying to, keep my guard up, but eventually, she's persistent, she's flirting with me, I'm attracted to her, all these things come into play. And eventually I was like, you know what, fine. I'm not talking to anybody, I'm single, I'm not doing anything, you're in Ohio, so it's not we're gonna be doing anything, so why not talk to you? It's not gonna hurt. So I started talking to her, I started whatever, and started being flirtatious, and then a couple days after, we started going back and forth on Twitter, and then I took to Facebook, and that's where I made my mistake. And then she comes at me saying she has a boyfriend and all this stuff, and blah blah blah, and he's really hurt, and he found out what she said to me and all this stuff, and I'm why didn't you tell me you had a boyfriend then? Why are you over here flirting with me? And she was I did tell you, and I was no, and you were telling me to go visit you in Ohio and stuff, and you got a boyfriend. Why? I don't, So, no judgment though, I ain't out here to judge. After that, I was just okay, I don't know how to respond to that, but I'm just gonna back out. See, this is why I didn't try to provoke you in the first time. You need to realize you coming at me. So I just why you playing me like this? And I let it go. Later on, she keeps flirting with me again. She's you know what? Yeah, I have a boyfriend, but he knows that we're cool, and it hurt him what he saw and what he said and da-da-da, but he's cool and it's all good. Stuff like that. And I was just what? Okay, like, I still didn't know how to reply, and I was just like, okay, like, I don't know what you're trying to imply between us, or like what you're saying, or like your boyfriend's flipping David from Roseanne, just like letting you have your cake and eat it too. Like, I don't get what's going on. But I was like, okay, whatever, cool. And I was like, but you do understand that, like, I'm kind of cautious of you. And I'm pretty sure I let her know that. I was like, I'm gonna be cautious with you. But yet, I did it because I'm attracted to her and she flirted with me, and I'm just like, ooh, pretty girl. Ooh, pretty girl. Ooh, pretty girl. You know?
Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy.
She had told me to visit her in Ohio, and I was like, yeah, maybe. But the thing is that it actually made sense, right? Because Jay and Moses live in Cleveland, Ohio, and those are who I was going to see. So they're like here. Where this girl lives, it's, I'm going to say Dayton, Ohio. Like, me and her know that's not really where she lives, but that's like the area, which is like here. So here's Cleveland, here's Dayton. And I was like, well, if I'm going, it makes sense for me to stop and then keep going. So I was like, you know what? Maybe let's do this. Like, just as friends, like, we're cool. But then, like I said, the flirting and everything, I got all up in my head. I got all up in my... Start thinking with things that I shouldn't be thinking with. And, you know, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna visit you. Like, it's gonna be a good time. So I told this girl, I was like, okay, let's do this. And I think people don't take me seriously. Like, I don't know if it's because other people out there don't mean what they say, or don't, like, come through, or, like, what the case may be. But for me, like, I prefer my actions to speak up for me, you know? Like, my actions come through. Like, if I say something, I say what I mean. I don't, like, sit around and dilly-dally. Like, I come through. So I told her, I was like, all right, this is gonna happen. She was like, okay, cool. Here's my address. Got Jay's address. I was like, okay, this is the day I'm coming. Let's do this. And found out, like, got her work schedule and, like, all this stuff. Like, everything was coming together, and it was going to be a nice, smooth, perfect trip. I think it was, like, a Thursday night because she worked that night. So she's like, come when I get off of work and stay with me and all this stuff. It's all straightened out. Like, we're good. And I was like, okay. And I told her, I was like, okay, I'm coming. She's like, okay. The next day I woke up, I was like, okay, I'm getting my stuff together on my way. Like, I was giving her, like, updates. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm excited. I'm ready to see you. I'm like, me too. I haven't seen you in a while. It's going to be a good time, you know, catch up, all this good stuff. And I start driving. I'm on my way. I mean, there was, like, traffic and rain and, like, all these crazy things because I didn't go early because I was planning out in my head to get there at night because that's when she got off work. But if I was planning it correctly, I would have gone early in the morning so I wouldn't have to deal with, like, traffic and all that. I was only stopping, like, get gas and stuff. And I think I was about halfway my trip. I want to say, like, 6 hours or something. And this girl hit me up and she was like, my aunt wants to talk to me, and she lived with her aunt. So I was like, why does your aunt want to talk to you? Like, about what? Like, why are you telling me this? Like, this is irrelevant to me. But apparently it was relevant to me. And I was tripping. I was like, what? I started tripping because I'm like, why is your aunt talking to you? Like, what's going on? Like, we already had this planned out. You said everything was straight. Like, all this stuff. Like, you were telling me all kinds of things, woman. Basically, she ended up telling me that I couldn't stay with her and that her aunt was like, nah. And I was like, okay, well, what am I supposed to do? And she kind of just didn't say anything. She's like, I'm at work. I got other things to deal with. And I'm like... And her and that dude ended up breaking up, by the way. I don't know if I added that, but that's kind of relevant to the story. That's relevant because she had started, like I said, like, in the past when she had gotten, like, really flirtatious and, like, not just, like, I like you, you're cute and stuff, but it was, like, more serious stuff, like, I want to be with you, live together, and this and that, and it was pretty intense. And, like I said, sometimes I just get caught up in that, and it is my bad, but... why you gotta say things like that? Like, why you gotta say things that aren't even, like, straight? Like, why you gotta make things up? And that's not even just to her. That's to, like, multiple people out there. Not even girls. Like, just even friends, too. Like, everything. All y'all. Like, all you... saying things and just saying things to say things because you like hearing yourself talk. So I started tripping out. She's like, you can't stay here. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I don't know what to do. Do I turn around? Do I find a place to sleep? Like, what do I do? And I started freaking, right? I'm like, okay, call Jay. Jay, I'm coming over. Jay's like, okay, do it. And I'm like, but I'm gonna be there at night because I was planning to be at homegirl's work at night because she got off at night, and I was planning everything around the possibility, pussy, and now I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm gonna be there late. So now I'm angry. I didn't sleep. I got like 2 hours of sleep before I left, I think. I didn't eat before I left. I still hadn't eaten on this drive. And, you know, like, I started getting angry. Like, all these things started happening. I took to Twitter to subtweet and be a little rude and vicious and malicious towards this girl. And I said some things I probably shouldn't have. But I was angry, I was mad, I was hurt. Like, there's so many things. Like, and it was my own fault because I knew something like this was going to happen. But I thought, I was like, you know what? I'm giving my effort. I'm putting in, like, I'm giving you a piece of me, and I'm expecting you to kind of take it seriously. And that's not what happened. So, oh well. I got to this point where I really needed to eat, and so I stopped and I tried to get something, but then when I ate, I just got nauseous. And I had to change my GPS to Jay's house, so, and I was going like this, now I gotta go back to this, and so I'm all jacked up, and it added time, it added miles, it added so much stuff, because I had to like do other things, and it was ridiculous. So finally it starts getting dark, starts getting to like nighttime, and I'm still driving. I think I finally made it to Ohio like 9 or 10 p.m. And I think when I got there, it was dark, like, and I was on these roads, like, there was no lights, I couldn't see anything. I started getting like tired, I was having panic attacks, my eyes were dilating weird, I couldn't really see the road straight. And I'd kind of been talking to Jay, be like, hey Jay, I don't know what's going on, like, if I don't make it, it's because I pulled over to the side of the road because I couldn't do it, or like police came, I don't know, like some weird stuff, I got into a crash, like, I don't know, I kind of feel bad, I feel like something bad's gonna happen, and I just started freaking out. I got really paranoid. My car has New Mexico plates, and I'm out here in the country driving around where people think New Mexico is Mexico and think I'm not even a legal resident of the United States. Like, I was paranoid. I was freaked out. I'm a little brown boy. So I'm driving, and I went to Twitter again, and I was like, guys, I don't know what's going on. I'm having a panic attack. I can't see, like, bad things. This is bad. I should not be driving right now. But I'm driving because I'm trying to get to Jay's house because homegirl said I couldn't stay with her, so I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just driving around. My friends came through for me, like, virtually, you know, like, via text, and they're, like, texting me, like, you're okay, you got this, like, do you need anything? Like, obviously, they can't do anything physically, but via text, so, you know, they're texting me, checking up on me, because they know I'm fucked up. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I was trying to, like, prove my craziness to y'all, but, and finally, later on that night, when that girl got off or something, she was saying, like, she messaged me and she was like, are you okay? Like, where are you? Something like that. I don't even think she asked if I was okay. I think she asked where I was. And I didn't know, and I was mad at her, like, all this stuff. So I was like, I don't know. I think I'm in Ohio. And she was like, where? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I've never been to Ohio. I don't know where I am. I don't know what cities. I'm following my GPS. It's not telling me anything besides, you know, going straight and turning and stuff, and just when I need to get off. And apparently I just need to keep going straight for like miles and miles. So I don't know. And it didn't feel genuine. It didn't really feel like she cared. It just kind of felt like she was like, oh, I saw your tweet, so I'm gonna see what's good. But the thing that got me even more pissed off at this whole situation is that she had been tweeting about this dude and how she had plans with this dude after work, and that dude wasn't me. I don't care that she was talking to another dude, because she tried to bring that up and be like, oh, you were just jealous or something like that. She didn't say jealous, but, you know, basically that's what she was implying. And I was like, girl, I don't care. Just be real with me and be straight and, like, tell me the truth. So I got pissed. So I'm over here, like, angry at this girl, being passive aggressive, all this stuff. Finally got to Jay's house after midnight. Panic attack was on full effect. I got to Jay's house and knocked on the neighbor's door, like, was trying to open the neighbor's door because Jay left the door unlocked for me. But thank God Jay was up, so I didn't look like an idiot for too long. Or like a robber, depending on how you looked at me. I was so dead. I felt like crap. I felt so bad. And I got into the house, I chilled out, I took my medicine, all this stuff, tried to calm down, and this girl kind of went to Twitter, was kind of like, it's not my fault, like, I'm not the bad guy, da-da-da-da-da, and I was like, whatever, like, it's all good, we just won't see each other, it's whatever. And then she started messaging me about, like, you know, flirting with me again and stuff, and saying how she wanted to see me and all this stuff, and yet she was still talking about this other dude and like all this stuff, and I was so confused. I was like, that whole week was just a big week of frustration and games and so much stuff. She invited me to go out drinking, and I thought about everything. I thought about going to see her. I thought about, like, even after she did this to me, I still thought about going to see her. I hate myself. So she invited me out drinking, and then she was like, wait, no, bring friends, or, you know, I'm gonna be with these people, I'm telling you where, like, all this weird stuff. And I was just like, dude, I don't know, like, I kind of, if we hang out, I just want it to be me and you, not even on like a sexual thing, but just because after everything that's happened, I think I'll have a panic attack if I go out trying to find you, because what if you leave and this and that. And she ended up leaving too, like at like 10 o'clock at night. She ended up going home, and I'm just like, and she told me that, and I'm like, why are you telling me that? Because I can't go to your house, and even if I could, it would take me 3 hours. So by that time, you're either probably gonna be gone or asleep, or somebody else has gotten to you, like, I don't know. And, you know, she's just telling me these things like, oh, I'm telling you where I'm gonna be, so if you wanted to see me, you would see me. And I'm like, girl, I just drove 13 hours, like 700 plus miles to see you, and you were the one who didn't come through for me, so how are you gonna like try to guilt trip me? Like, nah. If I wasn't so caught up on women and whatnot, I'd probably be in such a different place than I am right now. But it is what it is, and I'm getting things back in order, and things about to like happen and whatnot, and I'm about to do some things, but it's all just growth, it's all just coming, it's all just Finally leaving Ohio. It's been real. It's been fun. Even though girls be trying to play me, it's all good though, because we just grown from this. It's all growth. We just growing. I don't even know what to say about this anymore. It's just this happened, and it was a thing, and oh well. It's over now. And it happened. And now I'm here telling you, and my social media is down below if you want to hit me up and tell me a time that you got catfished, or if you just feel sorry for me because I'm dumb. Thanks for watching. See y'all next time. And don't be me. Don't be that guy. I'm that guy. Don't be me. Don't. I'm not even trying to be me. I'm working on it. So, peace out. Before I end this completely, there are a few things I forgot to mention. One, this girl is like a year and a half older than me, so we're both grown adults. This wasn't like some childish thing, like we're both grown adults here. So secondly, I know I joked around about like her just being really attractive, and that was the only reason I was into her, was because she was pretty and beautiful and all this stuff. That's not completely true. I liked her for other reasons. I don't want you guys to like think I'm shallow or whatnot, because I'm not. What's on the outside has nothing to do with whether I like a girl or not. It has to do with so much more, and so more things, especially because I was attracted to her on a whole nother level beyond the physical. One tiny last thing that's actually kind of important to the whole story, and could have ruined the whole thing if I forgot to mention it. On my way, like before I started driving out to her, I had bought her flowers to send to her work, and all she did was subtweet about how she got yelled at about them or something. Like, there's no thank you, there's no like, oh, these are real cool. It was just like, I got in trouble for these, thanks. But like via Twitter subtweet. So as you can tell, it was pretty salty up in that catfishing extravaganza.
So fuck you, and fuck you. You're cool, but fuck you, and you.